Hey guys, welcome to The Real Shit with Brit and Whit. This is Whitney.
And this is Brittany.
And this is the podcast that will make you feel normal in your everyday life.
Okay, today we are touching on a subject that is like the bitch of all emotions, and that is jealousy.
Oh yeah. It's a rough one.
It is. It's a scary one to talk about, I feel like.
Well, there's so many different like facets to it, you know. There's so many different areas in life to be jealous with things that I don't even think sometimes I realize that it is the jealousy emotion.
Yeah. Like, where do you even start? There are so many things that people struggle with within jealousy. I think when you say jealousy, the first thing that always pops into my head is more of like the physical look, right? The physicality, the looks, like, oh, I'm jealous of that person, or that person's jealous of that person, or
it's always to me what like tangent physical things that people have.
Okay.
So for me, it's like, oh, they have that really big house, or they went on vacation, or like that to me is like the first thing that pops in my mind.
Okay, let's be real with, right? Because that's what we're all about. So let's talk about scrolling social media. What's like the one thing that gets you where you actually feel the emotions of jealousy on?
Ooh, that's a really good question. I have a really hard time. Sorry for all of you people, Utah people out there, but I have a really hard time with a lot of the Utah influencers. And it's definitely born out of jealousy. I mean, it's definitely like, man, they're making like a killing at this. They're doing this thing. And I find myself like, I can't follow you. I can't watch what you're doing because I guess it's success maybe, but I have a hard time with that.
Yeah. See, I love the honesty of it though. Mine is boobs. No, for real. Because I have like the issues where I had a boob job, right? But like my left boob's a little harder than my right because I got the capsular contraction, and I'm going to get it fixed and it's coming here soon and I know it. But it's also like, I feel like pissed off, like really. And I feel
understandable.
When I'm dressed from the outside, and maybe we've talked about this in other episodes, I don't remember, but when I'm dressed from the outside, people are just like, what are you talking about? I can't even...
You cannot tell.
Right?
Brittany's boobs look perfect.
Yeah, right? But like to me, naked on the inside, I know they aren't. And so what I do is I find myself being like, oh, well, just look at her freaking perfect boobs. Must be nice.
She's got these great boobs.
Her great boobs that she paid for and they came out great, right? And
maybe they didn't.
Yeah. Maybe you can't tell because maybe my boobs look perfect on Instagram. Boom!
Boom! And they do. They do look perfect.
Right? So if you're jealous of my boobs, one is hard.
Don't be. No, just kidding.
Don't be.
Brittany has a kick-ass body. We all know it.
No, but really, it's like, let's get it out. It's just like the sick, ugly topic that nobody talks about out there. Nobody admits that they're jealous of people.
No, everyone's like, this is fine.
Yeah.
It's totally fine. Like, I just don't like her for other reasons.
Yeah, right. No, vacations is actually a good one. Like, I feel like sometimes in life we get in these ruts, right? Especially if you're like, we just did our episode on staying home versus working. The grass is always greener, people, right? But I think we get in these ruts, especially as women. Men might do this. They just probably don't admit it. But especially as women, we get in these ruts where we get a little down on our own lives, right? Where it's like, even though to other people, my life might look so spectacular, right? But to me, sometimes it feels like a very mundane day-to-day kids, house, cooking.
Yep, you're just in your routine.
Do I have time to shower today? Right? Groceries. It's all the mundane thing. So I think you get in these ruts where it's easy to like scroll or look around. Really, let's just say scroll. That's what the world is anymore. You scroll Facebook, Instagram, whatever, and you see people like going on vacations, or we're at Disney, or we're here. And I get in these ruts where I'm just kind of like, my life blows.
Yep.
Why don't I do anything fun?
Yeah.
But then also I bet there's people out there.
Why can't we afford to do that?
Yeah. But there's probably people out there looking at my Instagram just like, oh, look at all the cute things she does with her kids.
She does all these cute things, all these cute projects.
We're all feeling it. Like, let's just talk about it.
For sure. I know. For me, the vacation for sure, that gets me more than anything, I think, especially with people I know.
Yeah.
Sorry. But most of the time, like if I am seeing someone on vacation that I don't really know and I just follow their Instagram for whatever reason. Yeah. Usually I'm like, oh, cool. They're on vacation. Like, I'd like to go there one day. That looks really pretty. But like when people I know are on vacation, there is like a little more tinge of jealousy than someone I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, it's always like, oh, I wish we were with them. Or they're going like, how are they doing it? Like, how are they making that work? You know, and the reality is like, it's none of my business how they're making that work. Like whether they're in so much debt because they're doing these things or whether they genuinely have saved or maybe they just have a lot of money and they're able to do that. Like it's none of my business, but it's still like, and the thing is like, it's not a jealous where I'm like, okay, I don't want anything to do with it anymore. I'm so jealous. It's just like, it's just that little bit of like, oh, I wish we could do that.
Yeah.
Good for you guys because I love you guys. You know, like when you see someone that you're like close with and you're like, I love you guys.
Yeah.
Like good for you guys for getting out there. And I love that you're posting pictures, but I'm also super jealous of you.
Well, that brings up such a good point though, because honestly, you can have both ends of it. You can actually be happy for somebody, but have the little stings of like jealousy too.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's such a real thing. Yeah. It doesn't always mean like, oh, I'm depressed and miserable and I hate this person. It's more just kind of like,
yeah. Or the
nice.
high school thing to do of like, I'm so jealous of this person. I'm going to try to tear them down now.
Yeah.
You know, like it's, I feel like most of the time it's not that, especially the older we get. Like it's not that. It's just like, I'm really happy for you guys. I just wish that I
wish I had it too.
Things.
Yeah. Well, and I like how you're talking about people that you know, right? Or people that are like close. Here's a question. Have you ever looked at me and felt jealous? And have I ever looked at you and felt jealous?
Of course.
I have too.
Yeah, of course.
This is shit people don't say. Like who sits across from each other and is just like, are you jealous of me? I'm jealous of you.
Yes, we're right across the table.
I swear you guys, there's so many times I like look at pictures of Whit and I'm like, oh my gosh, she's so drop dead gorgeous. Like,
oh my goodness. And I think the same thing of Brittany. I'm like, my goodness, even the first time I met Brittany, you guys, she was walking her son in a stroller around the block. She has freaking like no makeup on and she totally rocked it. And I was like, man, this girl is so cute, so pretty, has such like a kick-ass personality. Like, I wish I was like that.
I wish we were dating. I'm just kidding.
I think we are.
No, I love that. And I feel the same way about you. But that's the funny thing is it's like we're still the best of friends, but we can be like, oh yeah, sometimes I look at you and I like feel like, oh, I love her blonde hair. I wish I had that. You know, everybody
I had your long, beautiful hair. Yeah.
See? But then you see me with no makeup on and think those things, but I'm probably walking around like, oh shit, of course I meet the gorgeous blonde neighbor while I have no makeup on. I'm in my like 6 sweatpants. That's how crazy we all are.
It is true.
You know?
And I think most of the time we're much more focused inward on our own securities.
Yeah.
You know, especially I remember my mom always telling me that in high school, like you're worried about something, like you're worried that these people are thinking things about you. And they're not because they're just as worried about other people thinking things.
That's such a good point. Oh, man. If we could all just get inside the heads of like all the other women around us, right? Well, that's why we're trying to do this podcast. At least you can be in our heads and see,
we'll take you along for the ride.
Yeah, but jealousy is a bitch. It's one of those emotions that are like, oh, I think especially if you experience it, if that's a struggle you have like within your marriage where you feel like a lot of women feel jealousy within their marriage of like, is their husband looking at this person or that person or
oh yeah, for sure.
Right. How do I articulate that? Right. Like, that for me, jealousy I don't have that where I'm like jealous of every single person out there. I think mine are more like personal things where if I feel insecure around someone for a certain reason, I don't even know if that's actually jealousy though. It might just be insecurity.
An insecurity.
Yeah, because I guess that's different. Is it?
Maybe.
Does that make sense what I'm saying? Like
it does. And I agree with you. I think well, sometimes I think some of our jealousies are because of our own insecurities.
Yeah, like the women who won't let their husbands go or do anything because they're so jealous that they can't, trust their husband that he won't go here and do something or like that kind of jealousy is what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And that's definitely a stem of an insecurity.
But insecurity.
For sure.
So I feel like with some things like that, I don't know. Do you have any jealousies in your marriage?
Well, it's funny because we talked about this right before we started recording. And Brittany actually brought up the point of being jealous in your marriage. And she brought up the point of, you know, your husband's eating the hot meal, or your husband's getting all the sleep, or he gets to go on a business trip. And I actually didn't think about those things as being jealousy, but they are.
Yeah.
And yeah, of course I do. Like right now, Scotty, my youngest, is in a huge sleep regression phase. She is getting up like 4 and 5 times a night. And of course she doesn't go to Brad's side of the bed. She's waking me up every time. So yeah, I'm jealous that he gets to sleep through the night. And, you know, there's times where it's not fun for him, but every weekend he goes and does homework, and he gets out of the house and goes and studies. And even though I know that, like, I really don't want to be studying. I don't want to be away from the house and studying. But yeah, there's sometimes I'm jealous of, like, you get to go and be on your own. Like, I want a turn to go away.
There's an element to it of, like, you get to go sit at Beans and Brew Coffee House for hours, or the library, or wherever, and just be in silence and get your thing that you need to do done.
Yep.
That's what the jealousy is. It's not like you want to be studying, but even within that, right? It's like the same thing. Like, you can almost be happy for somebody, especially your husband. Like the sleep in thing.
Yep.
It's like, I'm happy when Mark sleeps in, and I want him to be able to sleep in because he works his ass off.
Yeah.
But then I'm also jealous that he gets to sleep in.
Yes.
It's like that. It's just like
it's a balance.
Yeah.
I know. Because you want the best for the people you love.
Yeah.
You want them to have that, but I want that too. I also want that for myself.
But I also want to kick your ass because it'd be really nice to sleep in.
For real. You get up with the kids and you take them somewhere so I can sleep in for a little bit.
Or dinner, like when they're like eating their second plate of dinner, like, oh, babe, this is so good. Thank you so much. And you're like, is it now? I haven't had a bite because I'm cutting up all the food for all the other children, you know? Like ways like that where you're like, oh, here's your dinner and I want you to enjoy it.
Oh, yeah, for sure. But there's definitely some jealousies with that with a marriage.
Yeah, but I wish I could eat a hot meal and not have to worry about anything else in the whole universe.
Exactly.
So yeah, like sometimes I feel like it's hard to, those are the scenarios I probably struggle with more with jealousy in our relationship than like, oh, I'm jealous of every woman. Like, okay, you hear about the stories where the women, like the husband has to sit facing the wall in the restaurant, not the outside of the restaurant, because like women are so jealous, right? Like I've heard crazy stories like that.
That
about
is crazy.
Things,
I've never
right?
heard of that.
Yeah. Someone like Mark's been through that before with a previous. And so, those are the stories I hear about where it's like, that's not really my struggle. It's more just like, you know, he'll go on a work trip or something. And, I get those little things like, oh, it must be nice to
get away
and see. But then, he's over there thinking like, this isn't fun.
I'd rather
for
be
me.
home. Yeah.
Yeah. I'd rather be on a trip with you or whatever. But
I get jealous also. I just thought of this. This just came to me about people who also get to spend time with my spouse.
Oh, okay.
Like, and it's not like a huge jealousy, but like when he comes home from work and he's like, oh my gosh, something so funny happened. And he'll tell me like this whole conversation he had with someone and like the back and forth and just how funny it was. I'm like, oh.
Now, is this someone a woman?
It is, but I don't have like any jealousy towards, and that's just one scenario. Like this happens a lot, but he works with mostly females. So
that's true.
And it's not, I'm not jealous. I don't not trust him. Like it's nothing sexual or anything like that. I'm like, I wish I was there. Like I wish we were having these funny, because we've been married for 7 years. So, you know, a lot of the mystery is gone and a lot, like we still have a lot of fun, but I'm like, oh, like, I wish I was there for the back and forth banter. I wish I was there for like, you know, like
I get that. So even if it's not like the physicality of the woman or what she looks like, it's just like you're getting that time and it's like you guys get to have that banter.
Yeah. And I think that mostly comes when there have been multiple days in a row where we really haven't spent time together. Then I'm like, oh, well, you're spending time with this person even though he's at work. So it's like, of course, but
insecurity and jealousy do go hand in hand, because I've had insecurities from like things I've been through in my past, where even like, I think I talked about this in an episode wherever, one of my mental episodes probably, where it's like when Mark started a new job and I kind of had those insecurities of like, like, what if he works with really pretty women, you know? And then there's like a relationship there, right? Where you look at my husband and he like literally doesn't talk to anybody, has resting bitch face. Like people are intimidated by him.
He does kind of look scary.
Yeah. Like people don't just walk up to him and approach him. Right. But like in my head, in the crazy woman made up world in your mind, it's like, oh, he's starting a new job. They're all going to look like Victoria's Secret models.
Yeah.
Right. And then you like get familiarized with the workplace and you kind of like go in there and you're like, oh.
Well, and how many people in this world actually look like Victoria's Secret models?
Exactly. Right.
You know, I mean, yeah.
So I think there's things like that too that, I don't know if I want to necessarily say it's like, I'm like, jealousy, but like the insecurity creates those feelings.
Yes, absolutely.
I don't know. Yeah. Now, let's say he worked with someone with like giant boobs that was super hot. I'd probably be jealous of that. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Let's just call it what it is. Let's just call it what it is. You show up at the Christmas party, you're like, oh shit, you work with that girl? You know what I mean?
I wish I had her boobs.
Yeah. I just like, I'm not concerned about you. I just want her soft left boob. That's all. No. I know you want her soft left boob, don't you? Yeah, there's so many areas. What about like family members? Like your, you know, in-laws or things like that. I think that's, do you ever get anything like that? That's probably an area people struggle with for sure.
Well, yeah, I think that's very normal, especially I'm very close with my family. And so, yeah, I feel like there are times where someone's getting something or someone's progressing even in a career. You know, there's been times where I felt stuck in a career, or like I'm at the top, I'm not really going to be able to go anywhere else or whatever. And then I see someone else moving up. I'm like, I wish I had that. Like, look at them. Good for you for moving up, you know, but I think jealousy within family is easy to fall into that, like super easy to fall into being jealous of siblings or cousins or anything.
We actually had someone write in, I feel like this was maybe a couple months back. And one of the things she actually wanted to hear about was that she said she has struggles with her sister-in-law. Is it sister-in-law? Yeah, maybe her husband's sister. And she was saying about that, like, you know, their kids go to the best of the best, like private school and, you know, dance and all these things. And like, they struggle a little bit more financially. And so she was having a lot of those emotions about feeling like, you know, just almost like retracting and not wanting to be around as much because that jealousy was there. So,
I can totally see where that would be. I feel like, and this may not be true, I actually have no idea what my siblings make, but I feel like for the most part, there isn't anyone in my family who is making way above the rest of us, or like, I feel like we're all pretty much on an even playing field. So I don't know. I don't feel like there's too much of that there, I guess. I don't know. I don't feel like I have like immediate family where I struggle with like jealousy like that. Maybe a little bit of a similar scenario, but it's the thing where it's like, I'm not jealous in a negative way, right? Like one of my sister-in-laws, like, yeah, she can go to Costco and buy X amount of groceries. Like, it's nobody's business and it doesn't even matter, right? Like they do really well, financially. And so it's like, oh, I love her. And she's like the most humble, amazing, incredible girl ever, right? The most giving and loving. But I think I've had those things of like, oh, it's more those feelings where like, I love you. And it's not a negative thing. It's just more like, man, what would that be like to just be able to go? I wish I had that.
Yeah. Like just be able to like shop and, oh, hey, I need 2 new pair of jeans. I can just go do it. Whereas someone like our situation, if I want 2 pair of jeans, especially at somewhere like the mall or Buckle or whatever, like I gotta work a few shifts or save up for that.
Yeah,
or like,
exactly.
You know,
I'm not just running out same day to go and buy those. Yeah, for sure.
I think I feel jealous sometimes of people who can just go to the mall and like shop. No, really. Like I just want to go to the mall and like whatever I want to buy, I'll buy it.
Yeah, I have the same thing. Like I wish, but I have a complex about it though. I think a lot of it is a complex. For one, I always feel like my money needs to be going to other places.
Okay.
So it's harder for me to buy things that I need or want. And it always needs to be on sale or I just can't justify it.
So does that make me petty?
No, because I'm agreeing with you. Like I wish that I could just go out and do that. Like I wish I could.
Yeah.
You know, but I think part of it is just the situation of like, I feel like I need to save up. I can't run out the same day and go buy those pair of jeans.
Yeah.
But then it's always in the back of my mind too. Like I need to like, well, what do the kids need?
Do you ever feel like you're so frugal that even if I had that money, I feel like I would still be looking for the sales? I don't know if I could go full on, like full price buy something anyway.
Well, then I need to get the most out of that money.
No, but I was like, oh man, that is really first world problems. Like,
it really is.
I'm just jealous of people who can go to the mall and buy stuff.
Who can spend whatever they want.
Oh.
But here's the thing too, especially when talking about family and being jealous, like, you have to be grateful for not only what you have, but your own situation, I feel like, because, you know, especially family, because you're close. So you can see, like, there's been times where maybe I've been jealous of a family member for this reason or that reason. But then it's like, yeah, they get this and I'm happy for them because they're also struggling in this area. And so I would rather not have that either. Like, I don't want to take on somebody else's life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, I
like,
totally get that. I think that's what people don't look at enough. Like, okay, yeah, you might see this area of perfection there, but like you never know what people are going through.
Exactly.
Ever. Everything looks so good on social media. So it's like way easy to be jealous of people, but you never know what they're actually going through, you know?
I think that thought is what really helped me, especially in high school and college. It was like, that girl is really pretty, or she's really popular, or, you know, she's on the cheerleading team, or whatever it is. Like, anytime that I was feeling jealous of somebody for whatever reason, it was always like, but I don't know her life.
Yeah.
So as much as I'm jealous of this one aspect, there might be other aspects of her life that I really wouldn't want.
Well, and the funny thing too is I feel like some of the most beautiful women are some of the most insecure women too.
Yeah.
Right? Because they might have gone through something that gives them PTSD or insecurities, or they doubt themselves. And then they're looking at everybody else too, being jealous or whatever. It's just, it's like this weird thing that's just there. But it all stems from self-love.
Absolutely.
You know?
It really does.
And we're all kind of like creatures on this earth just trying to like get this shit right, you know? And we're all human and we all fail sometimes. So I might have a week where I'm on top of it, you know, mentally and just confident. And that's how weird it is being a woman too. Because don't you feel like you can look in the mirror? I think we've talked about this too. Like one day and just be like, I look good.
I am killing it today.
My boobs look great. And then like literally 3 days later, I can just be like, that's it. I need to fix my boob job. Like, I hate myself. I'm looking at everybody else. I mean, it all just stems from like where you're at mentally, emotionally, and loving yourself.
Yes.
You know?
Agreed. It really does all stem from self-love. And it also stems from having enough of that self-love to love on others.
Yeah.
You know, it's okay. I feel like jealousy, it's okay to be jealous, but it's also, we need to have the thought of, good for her, good for him, good for them for getting that. I want that. I'm going to now, you know, let it push you forward. I want to work towards that. You know, don't let the jealousy tear you down. And I think sometimes that's harder, you know, to implement than.
Oh, for sure. I don't know. I think that I get sad too, right, Whit, because I've got a house full of girls. And even when we're talking about siblings, I mean, I see these little girls, like they'll all be jealous of each other sometimes. They love each other. It's the same type of thing.
Yeah.
They love each other, but it's like they're all jealous of each other. And sometimes it's over the stupidest crap. And sometimes it's over like, oh, I wish I had her hair, or I wish I had, you know, this or that. And sometimes I'm just going, no, you guys are sisters. Or, you know, it makes me sad that at young ages, they already kind of feel that way, you know, or sometimes my oldest, we'll talk about like girls at school or something where she just feels like she's not as pretty or things like that. And I'm like, oh, we're already starting, you know, and it's really sad, but it really is just a thing in the world. And we have to almost embrace that this is a feeling that isn't easy. Right?
Yep.
Because it can really bring you down.
It can very easy and very quickly. Jealousy is definitely one of those things that you can be feeling so good about yourself.
Yeah.
And then you get that little bit of jealousy going on something else. And all of a sudden you are knocked down and you feel terrible. Like
so fast.
Shit, I've got nothing going for me.
Right.
You know,
it's almost like you forget everything.
You do.
Sometimes
you absolutely forget about everything.
My focus has been so much on like physicality for so many years. And that's kind of been like my struggle.
Which I think is normal for women.
Yeah. Right. That I almost don't even see that like I'm a good person. Right. And well, I think the stigma today too is that you almost come off conceited if you do like things about yourself. Like if I sit here and say, you know, sometimes my husband will be like, what do you like about yourself? I want to hear you say things that you love about yourself. Right. And he'll kind of test me a little bit. But for me, it's almost unnatural to sit and say, well, I think I can be funny. I know I'm smart. I'm a good mom. It's almost like when you name things off about yourself, people then are like, oh, you're full of yourself.
Oh, you think that, huh? Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So it's like an unnatural, weird thing. But I think like if I focus too much on the physicality of things, it's almost like, yeah, I might not love certain things about my looks to the fullest, you know, amount, but I almost forget that like there's other good stuff about me too. It's almost like when
that's
one
more important, but
thing goes, it all goes.
Yes,
it's like, well, I'm just a pile of crap.
Yep. One thing goes, it all goes out the window instead of being like, well, actually my personality rocks. Yeah. And I love my eyes. And, you know, like my butt is looking good in these jeans today. Like all of a sudden it's like, oh shit, like I'm not that thin. Like that sucks. Now I can't be sexy. Like, you know, like
they have a nicer house with nicer decor. So like I'm a pile of garbage. Like, don't you think? That's like how crazy. Like that is how nuts women can be. Like we really think those ways. You're scrolling, you're feeling good about yourself. All of a sudden it's like, like, look at her or look at that house or look at that vacation.
They just built this huge house. I'm never going to have that.
I have nothing.
I'm never going to be as good as them.
I know. Oh man, we got to love ourselves more. But I think jealousy is something people need to talk about. Sometimes it's uncomfortable. We're here to make you feel uncomfortable and comfortable all at the same time.
So we can grow together.
Right? You know what one of my favorite things about doing this podcast is just in case, this is not a conceited comment. It's just, let's be real. We're all nuts. Just in case any chick is sitting out there scrolling Instagram being like, oh, Brittany, what does she know? That's what I actually love about this podcast is it's like, I actually want to let you into the mental scenario that I struggle with so that you know, right? Like even if there's one Instagram photo where I might look super cute that day, right? It probably took me 75 times taking that selfie. And if you looked through my camera roll, I look like a psychopath with all these like, you know, photos.
Why do you have all these photos of you?
Right? And you know I'm not perfect. That's what I love about doing this podcast. I don't want anyone to ever have those feelings towards me.
Yeah. And for everyone to not struggle alone, really. Yeah. Because you do start, it's very easy to start thinking like, I'm the only one that struggles with this, or like no one else seems to be in this situation. No, we got you, girl. Like, we understand.
I feel like I've come a long way in this journey for sure. Years ago, the old Brittany, I feel like there wasn't a day that went by that I thought one good thing about myself. So the fact that I'm present day, like I'm probably feeling good and confident. Let's even say 4 to 5 days out of the 7. That's pretty good. And on the other days, I got a lot better at like self-talk and being like, no, embrace that uncomfortable feeling and just know that like, it's probably my hormones are wackadoo. And that's why I'm feeling this way. But jealousy is real. We all deal with it. We all deal with it.
But let's talk about it more. Put it out there. And honestly, if you are scrolling social media and you find yourself being jealous of the same people all the time, quit following them. It is not worth it. If it's seriously knocking you down, It's not worth it. Like
Unless
your
it's
life
us.
is good.
Unless it's us, don't unfollow us. We love you.
We love you.
We love you. There's
We're
nothing to be
here
jealous
to
of
let
here.
you know that we're also jealous of you.
Yeah. Oh gosh, I love it. No, you guys, on a serious note, we this is a quicker episode. We just wanted to kind of throw it out there. We're going to get into an episode in the future a little bit more on like comparisons and social media stalking. Ooh, we all do it. Okay, we're going to get into it more, but we wanted to just throw it out there. You're not alone in case anybody needs to hear this episode. We got you. We all feel jealous.
Absolutely. Until next time.
Keep it real.